Welcome back to a conversation with Trainer Heads. We are in Brixton Village. We are at Resole, and I'm here with my guy Moosa.
What's happening, bro?
How you doing, brother?
Yeah, man.
We've been trying to get this episode for a long time because we are South London-based trainer company, and we just wanted to get something in South. And so happy to be here. So, yeah, Moosa, tell us about Resole. Like, what made you start Resole, and what's the business?
So Resole, and first and foremost, thanks for having me on the show.
No problem, thank you.
It's been a long time coming. I appreciate any type of shout outs or any exposure that we get for the work that we're doing. Resole's an organisation we started just a little bit over 4 years ago. It just came out of the love of wanting to give back, making an impact within the community. It came off the back of me doing a trip to Gambia where we done some charity work. Came back on ends and just wanted to make an impact. And one of the easiest ways for me to make an impact, or the one that was most visual to me, was the homeless community and people that wanted support. So from the back of that, we kind of grew to where we are today.
Okay, we can see we're gonna get more B-rolls of the shop, but we can see you're based in Brixton Village. What was the reason? What was the reason for picking this location, and what was the difficulties of getting this location?
Yeah, so it was always important for us to be in South London, to be in Brixton or Peckham or Wharf Road, somewhere that was just home to what we were used to. This came around, I think we done an interview with the ITV News, and then off the back of that, the owner of the market, who had just recently bought it, saw the interview, and then managed to get my telephone number, I think through one of the local councillors.
Oh wow!
And then through that, we had a conversation, spoke about his vision for the village and how he wants Brixton Village to look, and the importance of having a community organisation in the heart of it, giving back and kind of representing what the village is all about.
Yeah.
So off the back of that conversation, he kind of made it easy for us to transition to actually get a shop, because he was just then waiting for the perfect shop to come available for him to offer it for us, at a discounted charity price.
Ah, that's good. That's so good. So this business is a charity, and it's it being a charity. What are the struggles you get having it being a charity or not being a non-profitable business?
Yeah, so as a non-profit organisation, it's quite difficult at times, because a lot of the times, especially in our first couple of years, we depend heavily on funding, and as an organisation that also depends heavily on the community donating trainers to us to make things happen. At the same time, we find that balance quite difficult to then ask the public for money, because we're already asking them for trainers.
Yeah.
So a lot of our efforts to raise money is always through local funding, nationwide government funding, or whether it's local authority. And if that doesn't work, we then have to be we have to then kind of think off the top of our brain in terms of how we can make, generate some type of income to keep this over our head, and to make sure that we have enough money to kind of also sustain ourselves, to make sure we can continue the work that we're doing. Okay,
so when you're saying about sustaining yourselves, how important is sustainability to you in terms of running a business? Because right now, sustainability is a massive thing, especially in construction, even the world right now. You see a lot of these protests about keeping the world green. How is your business helping the carbon footprint and stuff?
Yeah, I feel like one of the things we try to do also, we try to educate people about footwear, educate about the impact that footwear has on the planet. One of the biggest ways that we do that is by just being able to share the facts about footwear. We've done something in the Tate Modern up 2 years ago, and that was an exhibition about sneakers, the impact that they have, how many sneakers, over 29 billion sneakers getting made a year, 200 million ended up in landfills, the fact that shoes are taking up to 100 years to decompose, and just trying to let everyone understand that the impact that they're having, and also the impact of sustaining your shoe longer, so making your shoe last longer before you actually get rid of it, and what are the ways you can make a shoe last longer without quick to go and get a new pair and cleaning or in donating and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying?
So, okay, that's sick, because I recently went back to Sierra Leone to bury my grandma this year, and I saw a lot when I went back there. I saw a lot of, what you're saying, loads of trainers on landfills and that. So, just even us trying to solidify this conversation was important, because I was there's stuff that needs to be done in Africa, and I'm seeing a lot. So, what countries has your business touched? Is it like, has it improved? Like, where have you been to other than the Gambia that you have spread your message?
Yeah, so one of the things we like to do is connect with other charities on the ground, especially in Caribbean, South America and Africa. One of the reasons we choose these locations is that because we know that South America, Africa and the Caribbean have a lot of sports stars that kind of, are the face of these big global brands that we come to see today.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're the faces of these global brands, we're saying that it's important that also the people of that country benefit from some of these products. It's sad to see that some of the biggest footballers, whether it's Neymar from Brazil, or we got Mo Salah from Egypt, or we're talking about sprinters like the likes of, example, Usain Bolt from Jamaica, but yet you can go to these countries and still find people barefooted without the correct footwear. Then I feel like that's disingenuous on our behalf, and also the companies that are pushing out so many shoes on a yearly basis, but not also impacting the wastage within the industry.
Yeah.
So it's given us an opportunity to go to Uganda. We've sent shoes out to Barbados.
Okay.
We sent things out.
That's proper good.
Yeah, we sent football boots out and stuff like that. We sent things out. Recently we've done an outreach program in Kenya. We're hoping to go to Jamaica next year, 2024. We hope to be able to go out. So every year, as an organisation, we like to physically to go out. But throughout the year, we also work with smaller charities who are going out to these countries, and then we can supply them with a chain of footwear for them to kind of distribute and help.
Yeah, that's sick. Because even you saying that, like, there's all these track stars, and then you go there and people are barefooted. It's funny. I even learned the fact that Shelly Ann Fraser, when she was training to be a track star, she used to run barefooted. She didn't even have shoes to run. That's a fact. So you can check that one out. So you've done a documentary. I watched it about the business and how you started it and stuff. What I'd like to ask is, when did your love for trainers start? Because obviously I'd known you from like the ends from Willie Roads, and manning from the ends, to like let people know who you were was your trainers and your fit. So what was the first trainer that you bought that got you to be part of the like sneaker head?
Yeah, I feel like for me growing up, I think being from I'm 37 years old, so being from that generation where a lot of the sneakers that arrived then, they were the first editions. You know what I'm saying? So the 95s, they were the first editions. So we were lucky enough to get the first editions of most of the shoes that came out. But then also, I grew up in an era where Reebok was very popular.
Yes,
things like Reebok
told
Workout.
you lot, Reebok.
Yeah, Reebok Ripples with a baby blue Ripple, the Luminous. There was a lot of Reebok that was popular at the time. So when I grew up, that's all I really wanted was a pair of Reebok. But at the same time, my mum used to just go to places like TD Sports and Wardrobe.
Yep, TD Sports. I've been telling them about this. People don't know. They laugh when I tell them.
These were
top tier
iconic.
shops.
You had Rhinos in Camberwell. These were iconic stores. So my mum would go in there and say, "What are the best trainers you've got in there for my son?" She wouldn't care what I wanted. She would want the best. And more time, they would always pick out a pair of Jordans for her and be like, "Look, these Jordans, good material, good quality, blah, blah, blah." So she'll bring back home a pair of Jordans. I weren't really feeling them. It's only when I turn up on a block, people like Buck and that, who had an American influence. I think they had family members in America. They understood it. And they knew what Jordans were. So when I come on a block, they'll be like, "Bro, where you get them Jordans from?" And I'll be like, "Oh, they're right." But you know what I'm saying? They're not working.
That's it.
Yeah, because that's how I grew up. So I think from early on, so when I look back at my family photos now, I see from an early age that mum looked after me, and she gave me those sneakers that everybody wanted. But at the time, I don't think I appreciated what I do now.
No, and that's what I've said. I've said this a lot to the audience and a lot of people that I've interviewed. I think you're the first person I've interviewed that's actually from the ends I grew up in. So it's like you kind of understood like what we wore, and then when I used to tell people Reebok Classics was my thing. That was the first trainer I wanted was a white pair of Reebok Classics, because where we lived there was a lot of Millwall terrace football fans that were crazy, and that was the fit for them. They used to wear that. And then a lot of the man, like my brother's age and older, were all wearing those sneakers. Because even when I went to Jeffrey Chaucer, and I remember when I came back with a pair of New Balances, man laughed me off. They're like, "What are you wearing? What trainers that's some fake Nikes?" But people that had American family members, like you said, like Buck and that, they were clued on. They're like, "That's New Balances. You just don't know." So it's very, very funny. So, what is your thoughts on the current sneaker scene right now? What do you think? Are you in it, or do you,
Yeah, I'm from an era where, you know, we grew up buying things that were fresh. So I've had Deodoras, I've had Mizuno,
that's it, yeah.
I've had like high tech, I've had all types of trainers that were fly in the moment.
LA Gears.
LA Gears,
that's it,
do you know what I'm trying to say? Like Fila Cage.
That's it.
Like, man came from an era where when something was fly, we messed with it. And it wasn't just on the basis of a hype or like, example, you know, it's like the most expensive shoe or everyone's running over it because a certain type, it was just, I don't know, it was just fly at the time. So I think as time has gone on, I've kept to buying what I like. You know what I'm saying? I don't tend to just be buying shoes that everybody else has got or because everyone's saying that they're sick, they're sick. And then a lot of the repeats, like the shoes that they're doing again that I had before, I don't really want them again. I want something different. I've been there, and I've had my era where it was cool then and I enjoyed it. So it's not the same for me. I don't mind one or two. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to Jordans, I'm more 11s. I mess with the 11s.
Okay, 11. Hey, that's not many people say 11s, you know. 11s are dope. 11s are proper silhouette.
That's it. So that's what I mess with, and then dunks. But I don't really mess. And the only reason the dunks for me is because they're plain two-tone, two colors.
That's it.
They can go with anything. But I'm not. I don't really mess with the ones. I don't mess with fours. I don't. That's just not to say that I don't see pairs and say, right, they're fly. It's just that it's not something that I go above and beyond for. You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't even think I own a pair. To be honest, I've been offered a few pairs, but even when I do get them, I put them back into the organisation and give them to young people, but it's not something that I hold on to myself. Air Max ones again, they're two-tone. Anything for me that's two-tone and simple that I can mess with, like trainers that I could wear with a pair of trousers is what I like. Something that I can, you know, I can mix it up. I can wear it with some chinos, some tracksuits, and different type of things. I'm not really into too much hype. And what I like a lot of the New Balances now and what the New Balances are bringing out. I like that as a shoe, something that I'm looking at and wanting to get more of. But other than that, I'm happy with my Crocs, man. I put my Crocs on and I keep it simple.
Do you know what's funny, yeah? Like, my brother gets on to me about Crocs, yeah? But when I was telling him during like the whole pandemic, man was just wearing Crocs. Because it's just simple. It's like I don't have to think about the fit to wear Crocs. I just put them on and I come out the house. It's just simple. It's all about, that's what I keep telling you, it's all about comfortable shoes. And the only shoes right now, I think you need to get a pair of Sauconys. Sauconys are mad comfortable.
I've had a few of them. I haven't really rocked them yet.
Sauconys are mad comfortable. It's where you've got the Gridazorals. You've got what's the other brand? Things. But they're them New Balance. Even I've got another pair of Asics.
I've got these joints on as well.
On running shoes. Listen, do you know who put us on? I'll tell you, 2019, the person that put us on, and I'll always tell them, Kish Cash. Kish Cash came to our store, we did an interview, he said, on-running shoes are the most comfortable shoes he's ever worn. And they're big company, Swedish company. I think they're projected at 5 billion now, because they're on the market now. So
they're doing good stuff.
On-running, because Roger Federer, I think he's one of the main faces
as well. I believe so. They're comfy, they're calm. So that's why, again, I'm all about comfortability. So someone put me on, I tried them, I was like, all right, cool, this can work. And that's me now. I'm just simple. Like I got my son. More time, if he needs anything like that, I'll keep him fresh. Other than that, I'm good.
Is he a sneakerhead?
He is and he's not. That's one thing that I like. He's not over like, oh, Dad, I need this, I need that. It's just like, if that looks fresh, you'll be like, yeah, cool, that's good to go. You know
kids are very hard. I try to make my son my clone, but it's like, the problem with kids, you know, it's like maintaining their shoes, because you know they're like wild. Like I don't remember, I used to get beats because I used to kick ball with like remember my mum bought me MX 95s and I scuffed them like brand new pair. So it's like, especially with boys looking after them, it's crazy. So we've covered a few bases on the business and the documentary and Resole. I see that you've got an agenda. Your agenda is recycle, reuse and reduce, right? So what made you come up with that?
So for us, it's just that same thing about being sustainable and kind of being more and adding more to the work that we do, rather than just, okay, cool, we're a charity that distributes shoes, you know, we distribute shoes to a big sector of people in our society, the most vulnerable. So we're talking about homeless, unaccompanied minors, refugees, asylum seekers, you know, prison leavers, people that's just like working with the NHS with like some people who are diabetic and just don't have the correct footwear. So we work with an array of people who just need the correct footwear, and for one reason or another they don't have it. So for us, even though that's the work that we do and that's an important work, but it's also to educate in terms of in foot health. What is foot health and what does foot health look like? And what's the importance of also having the correct footwear? I think a lot of people don't understand the issues that, you know, can stem from the feet in terms of having a bad back, having pains in your legs. All of these things a lot of the time stems from the feet or the shoes that you put on your feet, and how you're walking and how balanced you are when walking on the earth, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these things are important. People don't understand that. So then it comes back to the type of shoe, the materials that it's made from, what are we actually using shoes for? Because a lot shoes are to protect our feet. The most valuable asset of that are the feet themselves. You know what I'm saying? If I offered you all the kicks in the world that you wanted, but I had to amputate your feet, it will be no benefit to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about protecting the feet. So then the level of how many shoes do we actually need? Because if I've got 10 pairs of shoes, it takes up 100 years to recycle. So I'm looking at the best part now of 1,000 years worth of recycling just in my shoes alone. Then we look at everyone that's got shoes and the amount that's getting made. So we're leaving a big, you know, trail of pollution. And like a lot of people don't know that when it comes to when it comes to like global emissions, the sneaker industry is just right behind aviation. It's only behind aviation. And when people think about, you know, ships and planes, they talk about, oh yeah, you know, they're pollution, blah, blah, but they're not understanding that sneakers are just right behind that. So for us, it's just to be a bit more aware of what we're doing. How do we reduce this? You know what I'm saying? What's the importance of recycling and then reusing shoes and them type of things. So for us, it's just to keep people aware, because one of the things that we've seen as well with recycling is that if you would have said 10 years ago, everyone would be like not feeling plastic bags. Nah.
I would have thought people were crazy. Like, I went to Morrison's the other day on Wharf Road and they charged me 40p for cardboard bag.
That's what I'm saying. But sometimes, even when someone gives you a plastic bag, you feel offended. Like, who are you giving me this for? Like, where's the paper bag? So even our whole mind in terms of and how we look at things and how we're perceiving recycling and sustainability has changed. I think if we start plugging that now into the new generation, when they grow up, they're going to want to know, like, what's the footprint on this shoe? What's going on here? Like, is this sustainable? Is it beneficial? And I feel like as long as the new generation can put that pressure onto the companies, then they will have a different insight on how they want to make stuff.
I think sustainability is so important because even us as a business, I want to try and create a sustainability roadmap of how us as trainer heads can help, like, work along with charities like yourself to improve like our sustainability and our carbon footprint, because it is crazy. Like a lot is like she's saying, like, we're just behind aviation. So what do you think companies can do to help you push this message? Like, how do you think they can help you? In what way can they help you?
I think a lot of the time is like the work that we do. We support a lot of charities on the ground who don't have access to the footwear that we have. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So within doing that alone, sometimes we struggle to kind of meet the demand as a whole. So we have to sometimes hone in the amount of shoes that we can give out because nobody really is, you know, providing footwear at this level in the UK. That's just not happening. So because of that, you would find charities who have sometimes school shoes, normal shoes, plimp soles, but that's not tackling some of the impacts that the young kids are having at school. Because one of the things that we try to tackle in Resole is the peer pressure that young people have and the peer pressure that families are having with the cost of living.
Of course.
With the cost of living, it's very difficult for families to be able to sustain 4 or 5 kids that they have within one household. And we're looking on average £100 for a pair of trainers. So that means a mum, a family, forget single parents, let's go at joint parents. Joint parents are still with 3 to 4 kids looking at the best part of £400 to just be able to get them a pair of trainers each that they all want. And that's just one pair. So how we like to impact that is by knowing that the shoes that we do get donated that are fresh, that are from sneakerheads, the sneakerheads have been one of our biggest supporters because you know, they buy trainers and sometimes they get trainers that they thought they wanted, but long term it's not really their thing, and they're not people to really wear things that they don't like, so they shelve it, and then things like that get donated into us. Someone else's shelved sneaker is a young person's dream. You know what I'm trying to say? 100%. So we're able to make those dreams come to reality.
No, I think that's very important. Are you keeping data of like all the shoes that you give away? Or, like,
Yeah, we
just
keep it.
tracking
So now we've gone over the 20,000 mark in terms of the amount of shoes we're giving.
What, 20,000 you've given out?
20,000
wow,
shoes.
that's 20,000 shoes.
That's 20,000 shoes. We're looking at like 2.1 million.
Wow.
2.1 in terms of amount of shoes in valuation, and that's averaging every shoe at around £100, where in reality some shoes we're getting are like 150, 182 bills, but on average. So we're looking at over 2.1 million pounds worth of shoes in our first 3 years.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? But
3
for
years,
me,
2.1. Do you know what? That is an achievement that needs to be shouted at the
but
highest
for me,
point.
that tells me that's the community.
Yeah.
That's what the community are doing. The community have donated to us over 20,000 pairs of shoes that we've been able to give back. That's what the community's done.
Yeah.
The community has done that because we can't do that on our own.
Yeah.
We're just the middlemen, and we've created like a database of knowing how to get the shoes out. I've had a lot of people contact me, especially when it comes to like Christmas times,
Yeah.
and they want to do good spirited things, and they're like, cool, I'm going to get a load of shoes, I want to help homelessness. And then when it comes to Christmas, they say, listen, I managed to collect like 300-400 pairs of shoes through friends and family, but there's no one to give them to. And that's one of the things people underestimate, is knowing, is the work that goes in behind it. And understanding who needs shoes, where they are.
Yeah.
Because one of the first things people understand is that when it's Christmas time or a festive season, you're not the only one that has this charitable feeling.
Yeah.
So there's lots of people like you, and there's lots of companies like you. So anyone who's homeless or who's going through a difficulty, they'll tell you the most looked after time they have throughout the year is Christmas. That's when everyone patterns them, everyone looks after them. So that's the time they least need anything.
Exactly.
When they need you is the month after Christmas.
And that's a lot of time. It's true. It's
the first month of the year, January, February, when all of these companies now go back into stopping all their festive things that they were doing, when everyone goes back to living their normal lives, and then the homeless people are put back out on the streets. That's when they need you to come up and stand forward. So that's what we've been able to do, is just understand the whole space that we're in and have a good idea, or just have a good understanding and in terms of how to distribute footwear and how to get it across.
But you lot are doing something that's positive, where it's not like you're not on, because I could easily say your brand is so good that you could literally be on Instagram every day saying, look at what we're doing, look at what we're doing, look at what we're doing. But you lot are doing it in silence, making crazy numbers and doing a good worthy thing, like you said. But we're in a generation now where people only do things for likes and popularity. So like you're saying, people doing it for Christmas, and they're not forgetting that those people need it after Christmas, not Christmas time.
No,
you understand? And that's not what we should be doing. But
and that's the reality, man. We always tell people, and you're always going to get people like that who are haters, because like I said, we've distributed over 20,000 pairs of sneakers, but we don't have 20,000 posts. We haven't posted everything that we put out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm trying to say? The reality is that you're only seeing a small percentage of the work that we do.
Exactly.
And that's just to encourage people and to also let people know that your shoes that are being donated are going back out there to the right people, and that they're getting used for the purposes that they were donated for. And that's the number one thing for us, is to be transparent. Because if people come to us and give us Jordans, Yeezys, and Air Max, all different types of trainers, it's important for us to let people know these shoes are going back out into the community. And to be transparent. And I think that's what's given us that level, if I can say, success with and building that resale communities, that people actually know that, you know what, they can come on the resale timeline and see their shoes going out. Be like, I donated them last week. Okay, they're going out to my man. That's a good look. I'm going to come again. Because they're seeing their shoes going out into the community.
I think that's so important. I think that's amazing. I was just blown away by the numbers and the valuations of this. It's not like people are just giving you any box standard shoes. It's like you're getting proper shoes of worth that someone is actually going to reuse and help someone.
It's
which is so important.
That's
I love that.
man,
I love that.
People are struggling, and you know it. When you're struggling, going through difficulty, the last thing you want to do is feel worthless. So people are donating shoes to you that you can see that they were going to throw in the bin anyway. They didn't put no thought into this. But when people are going through difficult times and they're getting nice shoes, they're like, people really want to give these to us. They feel worth something, you know what I'm saying?
And I've seen it, because a lot of my sneakers, I've got so many trainers now. A lot of them I've collected them, I've given them back to my cousins. I've got cousins in Sierra Leone that don't have, they're not, as good as me, and I make sure they have it, and I look after them, so it's important. So to almost wrap it up, what workshops are you doing that people can come to listen, meet you firsthand, and and talk to them about improving their sustainability, and helping you guys.
I think, moving forward, we want to do more presentations on the whole sustainability aspect of footwear. We're working with the Tate to do another exhibition in the Tate Gallery.
Yeah, we'll be there, don't worry.
Yeah, hopefully sometime before the year closes out. And then we're also looking at doing more presentations in schools with young people, because I believe the next generation are the people we need to educate so they can change their shopping habits. And another way is really just coming down to the Resole Hub in Brixton, and just having conversations, donating, and just coming down and just being and having real life conversations, because we're available, we're accessible. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's perfect. That's so perfect. But yeah, man, thank you so much, brother.
No, likewise,
honestly,
man.
you taught me so much. Guys,
appreciate it.
please come down to Resole in Brixton Village. Please speak to Moss. He's going to give you all the answers you need. Like, contact him. Could you just let him know what?
Yeah, guys. So we're here, Brixton Village in Brixton. Not hard to find. Resole. If you ask anyone in Brixton or in the village, they'll most probably direct you to us. We're open Monday to Saturday. We're open Monday to Friday night, 10 till 6, and then on the weekend, Saturday, we open 10 till 3. So just come down, feel free. Just follow us on Instagram. More information about our opening times and how you can donate is on there. And we're also going to be starting a festive campaign. More details will be coming out. So hopefully when this video is coming out, that should be coming to light. So look out for that, guys.
Okay, you heard it first, man. But yeah, catch up on the next episode of A Conversation with Trainer Heads. It's your boy Steve, and we're out.